Hi, I'm Christine Aller, author of the book Feeding Your Focus, which helps ambitious creative people like you build a rock-solid foundation so you can have the career of your dreams and enjoy long-term sustained success. In the first video of this series, we formulated your focus. I hope you went from feeling pulled in a million directions to feeling a greater sense of clarity, cohesiveness, and peace. Now I want to bring peace to your home office by helping you create my no-fail paper flow system. In his book Outliers, Malcolm Gladwell said that a major key to success is putting in about 10,000 hours of hands-on practice in your particular field. During the 15 years that I've worked as a professional organizer, I have definitely passed the 10,000 hour mark. I have organized countless home offices of all shapes and sizes, from big, beautiful rooms to little offices in the corners of bedrooms to offices in laundry rooms. One of the biggest organizing issues my clients have is with paper. I know, it just keeps coming at us day after day. Are you drowning in a sea of paper? Are you losing important documents or misplacing phone numbers or years behind on your filing? Is your paper oozing from your desk into the kitchen, into the dining room, or onto the sofa, or onto your bed? Well then, this video is for you. We are going on a field trip into the home of one of my clients so I can show you my no-fail paper flow system in action. I will show you how to set it up, and I will show you how to use it, and I will prove that it works in even the smallest of spaces. Because this client is a minimalist, as you can see by this beautiful one-bedroom LA apartment. She has her nice table, clear, kitchen clear, the bar station up here, clear, and her couch, clear. But this was not how it was when I first came here. So let me give you some context, and then I'll show you the paper flow system. When I came, she was using her couch to sort papers, and she works over here, but this was serving as her whole desk area. So she had stationery over here and stamps and everything she would need for her office, plus all of the papers that she was currently working on. And then in the corner over here, if you can imagine, was the extra papers for the printer, anything else she really needed for her office. So anywhere she was in this environment, here was this big clog of anti-minimalist environment. And of course, when she came home, as we all do, if our arms are full of stuff, we go to the first flat space, which, if there's no papers on the couch, could be the couch, but usually there was papers on the couch, so she would come over here to the table, dump on the table, and then of course it's a small table, so when she's sorting her papers, they kind of also merged over here, and then sometimes these drawers were kept to file papers in, and then they eventually made their way over to the desk, and so this room felt like a big office. So when I came over, obviously that was what we had to work on. So I'm looking at the space. Now the first thing is that I know she likes to work here. She loves to work on the stool, and she has a laptop which also serves as her television. So if she's going to work on the computer or watch movies, it's going to be here, or she'll work on the couch if that's available. If someone gravitates toward a place already, if you like to work where it's sunny and light and feels spacious, that's where you're going to work. So there's no need for me to move her anywhere else and get her to work anywhere else. That was where she was going to work. But just because you work there doesn't mean you have to have everything out and about. But where do you put it? So I did notice this door, and it was closed when I came, and I assumed that it was going to be, because this is an older building, I assumed, okay, this is just going to be a coat closet. But I was like, let's see. Well, much to my delight, it was basically another room, a closet, but because it was an old building, bigger storage. You know, when the door first opened, you couldn't really walk into the room. It was full of storage, and there was a bookcase, but it was on this side, but I was like, oh, this is another room. And if all things work out well, we can put her office into this room so that she can take what she needs out to work with out here, but then bring it back. And much to my surprise and delight, my plan A actually worked because she had wireless, and so we were able to put her printer in here, and the fax machine was also able to hook up in here, and she, you know, we're stringing cords around from the outlets that are out here, but it all really worked. And she's gonna get a better light source in here, not necessarily so that she can work in here, but so that she can do her paper processing, because this is where part of her paper flow system is. But another really cool thing is we gave her this little drawer unit that she can roll out with her when she's working out here, but then roll it all the way back. I love that. So now we'll talk about the paper flow system itself. When you come home and you have receipts in your purse and unopened mail, that's what we call unprocessed paperwork. You haven't dealt with it, you haven't really gone through it. And like I said before, if you don't have a place for it to land, it's gonna land on the first flat surface, guaranteed. So you want to have a landing zone. And for this client, I suggested she have a landing zone right by the door. And I always suggest getting a really beautiful type of bin. This is perfect and modern and minimalist, just like it goes great with her environment. And it's about 6 inches or so deep. So, you know, if a week goes by, you could probably have a week's worth of paper in here, but you don't want it to be so deep that you could have a month's worth of paper. No lid, because if it has a lid, inevitably things will get set on top of it, and then just something where you can throw so that the paper doesn't go around the rest of the house. The thing about this paper flow system is you will not lose a piece of paper if you have this system. It's going to be in one of 3 places. It's going to be in the unprocessed landing zone, it's going to be in the processing zone, or it's going to be archived and filed away. 3 places your paper could be. So landing zone, you dump everything here, and then, you know, every couple days, every other day, maybe once a week, you take this. That's another great thing about having it in something, is you can take it, or when company's over, you can stash it in another room. So you take this to your paper processing zone. What's great about this is that my client had these 3 little wooden TV trays, and we just put them up in here. And because she's a minimalist, she didn't want to buy or really have a filing cabinet, and she didn't want to keep a lot of paperwork because she's archiving a lot of it on the computer. So for her file drawers, just 2 banker's boxes that fit really nicely under the TV trays. So that worked out really well. So I love, for the paper processing zone, to use magazine holders. They're supposed to go like this or like this on a bookshelf to hold magazines, but I really love them to have areas in which to sort your paper so that your paper's not in one big pile. And what I also like about them is that you can see your paper, you can see what you have versus going through a pile. You can just flip through what you have. And if she wants to pay bills, for example, she can take this whole thing out and take it out to the space where she wants to go ahead and work on the paper. Now, a lot of times people will say to me, I hate filing cabinets. And the reason why is usually they're overstuffed, so you can't get a piece of paper in, or they're broken, so you can't really open the drawers because they've kind of tweaked a little bit. But usually it's because people are trying to put active paperwork in a filing cabinet, and then you kind of forget about it because it is a little out of sight, out of mind, but you don't want it on your couch. So this paper is paper that my client is actively working on. There's something she needs to do, or she's waiting for something that's pending, like an answer to something or an order to come. And it's broken up into different categories. And you can have as many categories. I've made paper flow systems where there's 10 of these, but you know, minimalist, we wanted to have as few categories as possible. So we chose to do personal,
to do career, data entry for the stuff she wants to put into her database, bills to pay, and it's highlighted in green. You always want your bill area to have something that draws your eye to it so that you are aware when there's something to be paid. And then to file, because even I don't take a piece of paper and like, oh, I need to file this and file it right away. So if you just have a bin where you can throw the papers that need to be filed, then you don't need to file technically till this thing is full. Then just do all your filing at once. And then these last ones on the ends are for projects. Projects are things that have a beginning, a middle, and an end. To do personal, those are all the time. You're always going to have to do personals. But she's working on taxes right now, and this will have an end at some point, and all of it will then be filed away. And then this can be for a new project. And then she has a class that she's taking right now. So this is all her material for that. So when you have this unprocessed paper that lands in your landing zone, that's when you can open your mail, decide, okay, this is important, I need to keep it, but there's nothing I have to do, so it would just go in the to be filed. And you go through each piece. Oh, this is something I need to do personal, to do career. Data entry, I just need the address, rip it off. And then she has right here a shred bin and trash, and so she can just shred it and trash right there until this is empty. Then the landing bin goes back and she has all her paperwork. Now over here, sometimes you can get a lot of different to-dos, especially if you have kids, and sometimes you'll want to have a bin just for stuff for your children, perhaps, if that's how your household works. We gave her this pad of paper. Each line item written down here corresponds with the paper that are in her to-do files. So she doesn't have to go through every single bin to look at what do I have to do. She can just scan down her list. Ooh, I need to buy that lamp, and there's a picture of the one I want in here. So she grabs the paper and goes and does that to do. So that's another handy thing. And you can have pads of paper for each one, or you can have one main pad, whatever suits you best. And the magazines that she needs to read, or the books that she would be like, oh, I want to get to that, we put those right in the corner, right here. So this is all her active paperwork. And then she'll take her papers out of the to file and she'll put them into her filing bins. If you have a file cabinet, or if you're doing it in bins or boxes, what I highly recommend is that you divide into categories rather than just alphabetize all your files. You can alphabetize within a section, but when you alphabetize all your files, it's kind of hard to remember if you filed your car under car or automobile or Jeep. And this way it's very, very easy. So this box is her financial box. These are all her financial files and medical files. And in this box, it's household and personal and career. So immediately, if she has a financial piece of paper to file, she only has to worry about one box. And then she only has to worry about one section of one box. So she's not even having to worry about any of the files, and that makes it go a lot faster. Oh, here, this box, this box, this box, this box. So if you have a 4-drawer filing cabinet, usually what it works out to is there'll be a drawer for financial, a drawer for the household, running of your house, which can include your car, a drawer for your career, and a drawer for personal. And that way, if you need something personal, you can ignore 3/4 of the file cabinet and just go right into that drawer. And then within that drawer, you can have different sections. We also hung 2 bulletin boards, one for schedules and other miscellaneous things, and one that is exclusively a money board, where she can put valuable coupons, gift cards, tickets, and other items that represent money. Having a money board ensures that you won't lose these items and that you'll see them often and be reminded to use them. So that is the flow. Paper comes into your house and it lands in your landing spot. And when you're ready, you take it over to your paper processing zone. And then when paper is ready to go to its final resting place, it can go into deep storage, which is a file cabinet or the trash or the shredder or the recycle. But the system doesn't do the work. You have to work the system. But it's an easy system, and what it guarantees is that you're not going to find a piece of paper in the bathroom and a piece of paper on your nightstand. It collects it all. Now, this is just how I set it up for this particular client based on the fact that she didn't want to see it. All her media is stored away. She has no books out, no DVDs, no CDs. So I knew, everything needed to be tucked away as much as possible. But I've set up paper processing zones in home offices, in laundry rooms, in kitchens, in front entryways and in hallways and in people's bedrooms. They can go anywhere that works best for you or works well with your house and is a place that you'll actually use.
I hope that setting up this simple system in your own home will be a big help. And if you have friends that you think need this information, feel free to pass this video on to them. Now, the exciting part is when you don't have to worry about or keep track of paper. That frees up a lot of energy that you can put towards projects that feed your focus and move you closer to achieving your dreams, like networking. And once you have an organized desk, you can keep track of your contacts that you make so those relationships don't die on the vine. Now, in the next video, I'm going to show you how to use your networking time and your networking money very wisely. I'm going to teach you how to take 1 hour and less than $5 a week and move your career to the next level. When clients come to me wanting to move forward, this is usually the thing that's missing from their activity. And when we add this one thing back in, sure enough, they start to move forward and really build momentum. So keep your eye out for that video in your inbox, and I will talk to you again soon.